Welcome back to the Falcon Nest podcast. We're your hosts, Cassidy
and Elizabeth.
And this week we're doing the Christmas issue. And we did a red and green theme because it's Christmassy. See the Grinch there with Lizzie. It was cute. I like this week. And basically we did all things Christmas. Pretty much all of the articles were somehow Christmas themed, like a Christmas movie review, whatever. And the first one we're going to talk about is one that Lizzie wrote. And it was her...
That I hate Christmas.
Yes, it was the hot take of the week is Lizzie's not like Christmas. Lizzie, give us your reasons for not liking Christmas.
Well, I think that it's over-celebrated. Ever heard of Christmas in July?
Yes,
Should not be a thing. Should not.
I agree. That's
Christmas
kind of ridiculous.
and Christmas Eve, the 24th and the 25th. Christmas in July, no.
Yeah, because it's like, I think it's a Hallmark thing or something.
Yeah.
And they just have Christmas movies going,
money.
and I'm like, why would you want... my article tied into that with my Christmas creep one.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're basically trying to capitalize on it, guys. I do agree. Christmas in July is ridiculous.
I think it's stupid. Also that we tell our children here in America that some old fat guy's gonna watch them sleep and know if they're good or not and bring them presents and eat their cookies and drink their milk.
But he's jolly.
Not very jolly to me. I think that's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, and we are lying to them.
Yeah, I don't believe in lying to your kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think kids should be comfortable with the thought of an old man just watching them sleep.
Yeah.
Or be excited about that.
He knows if you've been naughty or nice.
Yeah.
He knows.
I remember
elves watch you.
Yeah, I remember as a kid in the shower I'd be like, Santa can see me. No. No, I think we should never tell our kids that ever again.
Okay, I can see it. Nice. Okay. That's what you got for that one?
Yeah, and also that we're telling them to look up to this guy and be good for this guy who has a magical land of kids working for him.
It might be child labor.
Yeah.
They're in the North Pole. It's cold.
Yeah, I feel like that might just be a slight issue there.
Yeah. Okay. So in America, we tell kids about Santa Claus, but some other countries do some even weirder things for Christmas. Let's talk about our top 5 craziest Christmas traditions. Yes. And the first one, I think it happens in Germany. Yeah, it's like a German island. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Klassom, I believe. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm sorry if I am. And it's where costumed men, they're in like these freaky costumes. I want to see if I can show you guys this picture actually, if you're watching it. So costumed men, they chase down random women in the street, right? The women aren't really consenting to this. The guys are just kind of grabbing them, and they'll like hold them down and beat them on the bottom with a bullhorn, and it's that's interesting.
How do they make up for this?
Afterward, they give them gingerbread as compensation.
For assault?
Yeah. It's actually because I first heard about this one because it's actually getting canceled and they're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because everyone was upset and some of the girls got like bruised for like days afterward.
I mean, being held down in the middle of your home country and being hit in the bottom with a bullhorn, I wouldn't be happy either.
And it's like, there's like a group that does it and only people that are like natives of the island do it. But it's like, okay guys, and there are other people that hold them down and wait for the other guys to come and meet them, and it's
terrible.
It's interesting.
I feel like that's what our world is trying to get away from.
Yeah. it's a little dated.
Oh yeah.
But hopefully that one changes. The second one is I don't even want to say it. It's so weird to say.
The holiday pooper?
Yes. And that one's in Catalonia, Spain. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that one right too. And it's where, nativity scenes where they have, like, baby Jesus is being born, and they have, like, Mary and Joseph and 3 wise men. In Spain, they sneak in an extra little figure to the nativity scene, and it's just a guy in a red hat, or it can be, like, a celebrity or anything. It's just a little mini figurine, and he's, like, has his pants down, and he's pooping. And it's...
That's cute.
It's interesting. I read also that it was, like, a nod to their pagan roots instead of Christianity, so it was like kind of a rebellion, but also kind of just the kids are supposed to try to find it. I don't know.
Yes.
That one's kind of fun. The other ones after that get a little scarier. We have Krampus is the demon creature that travels with Saint Nick. That one's in Austria. And, you know, Saint Nick is like benevolent as Santa Claus, basically.
Yep.
And he gives you presents, but if you're naughty, if you're on the naughty list in Austria, you'll get taken away. You'll either be kidnapped and dragged to hell, or murdered, or beat by... He's also kind of scary. Here, this one has a picture of him. It's the third one. Him, like, dragging a kid away. And so, yeah, that one's interesting. Belschnickel is also kind of similar. That one's in Germany. And he just kind of whips kids, though. He has, like, a switch thing. And it looks like a whip in the picture.
That's an issue.
And yeah, he like quizzes them on like the Bible and their behavior that year, and if they do bad, and then he like throws candy on the ground, and if they die for it too quick, he'll beat them too. So it's
Starting to think maybe our Santa Claus here isn't that bad.
Yeah, it kind of puts him in a little better of a light, honestly.
Yeah.
And the final one is in Iceland, the Yule cat. It's just a big cat that roams around, and if you don't have your like Christmas cleaning and you're like ready for guests and your food made and gift spot and everything, he'll eat you, or it will eat you. Doesn't specify.
Oh, that's cool.
So you gotta be on top of it in Iceland, guys. No slacking. Yeah. Okay. That top up is a fun one to do. Our next one is Whoville.
Whoville.
Yes. There's lots of, when you think about Christmas, right?
Yeah, I went there once and it was like pretty cool.
Did you? I've always wanted to go.
Yeah,
it actually seems so cool. Like the architecture is fun and curvy.
Yeah, it's all like circular ovals, you know?
I love that. That's so fun. So Christmas is like the biggest thing in Whoville. It's if you want to witness an amazing Christmas, you gotta go to Whoville, guys. They do lots of things there. They gather around their big Christmas tree in the square, and they hold hands and they sing and they sway, and it's beautiful.
Don't forget about the Whobilation.
The Whobilation is the celebration the day of Christmas. They have a big feast. Everyone goes, old and young, everyone, and they traditionally eat roast beast and pudding. Who pudding. The Who's are just really fun people. They're really nice.
Yeah,
really
when I
welcoming.
watched it, some of the pudding was chunky.
Oh,
Who
really?
pudding, yeah.
I didn't expect that. It's interesting. Did you have any good encounters with Who's?
I actually
nice.
met the Grinch.
Did you really? Oh my god, I'm such a fan. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my god.
He looked a lot like me.
True, you guys have such a semblance. Oh my god, did you get your fashion inspo from him?
Yes, I did, actually. I decided to, you know, stop shaving my legs, grow out my hair, turn
All
green.
that all natural, like the French girls. He's on top of the trends, if I'm being
Yes, he
honest.
is.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Oh,
Guys, if you want a really special Christmas, go to Whoville. It's an amazing place. It's on my bucket list. Okay, now we're here with Valerie, and this week for our Christmas theme, she wrote an article about Christmas in the community. We live in a really small community, so there's not always a lot of stuff going down, but what kind of happens around the week of Christmas and Christmas Day?
Yeah, so they actually have a day especially for Christmas activities. It's called Winter Magic, and that day they start off with cookies and breakfast, which is kind of a weird combination if you think about it. I mean, I guess it's Christmas time, so you can eat cookies, but I just wouldn't eat cookies for breakfast, in my opinion. And then they also they're followed with a craft show, so like little vendors from around town and just little old grannies that crochet and sew little like things.
Cute little Christmassy things?
Yes,
Nice.
they have like all the cute little Christmas prints, but they come and they will sell their stuff at the craft shows, so they have that around.
That's fun.
They also have carriage rides, so if any like
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Okay.
it's actually
That would
pretty
be
cool.
fun.
I saw it in 6th grade.
I should try, actually.
It's pretty cool. And then you can go meet Santa if you're into that. More for like the little kids, I guess. But
Take a little seat on Santa's
yeah,
lap, get your presents.
tell him what you want for
Yeah.
Christmas. You know, it might show up.
You've got to let him know, guys. You can't just be winging it. He can't read your mind. You have to tell him.
Yeah,
Write him a letter, something.
men can't read minds.
Nope.
Then they also have a free movie at the Minor Theater, so you can go get your popcorn, get some little soda and some snacks, and watch a free movie. And then towards the end of the night, they ended off with a light show that the Johnson family puts on. It's a free light, or I don't know if it's free actually. I said free, but it goes from 5 till 10, and there are different little houses that's set up, and you can go there and tune your radio while you're at that house. You could just tune your radio, and it will play the music that matches up with the lights on the house.
Oh, cool.
And that goes every weekend until December 21st. So
Okay, and that's in a bunch of different areas?
Yes,
you can
it's
kinda
in
look it up.
Sheldon. There's all different addresses. If you look it up on Facebook, they got a whole Facebook page about it. The Rusk County Facebook page is posted about it. And there's 3 different places in Ladysmith. There's one in Sheldon, one in Weyerhaeuser, and one in Bruce.
That sounds fun. Look. Family activity.
Yeah,
Go in the car.
take your family out there. You'll be nice and warm because you'll be in the car.
And so, who kind of puts all this stuff together?
Just kind of the community. There will be volunteers that will volunteer and put up Christmas lights around town. So all the Christmas lights at the park.
Yeah, the park is always really cool. I would drive through
Everything
there,
there is donated. So the
Oh,
lights
really?
are donated, the time is donated, all the people just donate their time. and
I
put
guess
it
I always
together.
figured it was city workers would
I
put
feel
up.
like some of them do that, but yeah, it's a lot of volunteers.
Yeah,
Some
thanks
with,
to the volunteers. You're making beautiful,
bring in the
magical
Christmas spirit.
Yes. Great article. Thank you for coming.
All right, everybody. I have got a Flambeau legend here next to me. Dame Dalla, a.k.a. Make 'em Holla. He's not going to be in the barn too much longer, so I had to get him on the podcast right away. Plus, Damien wrote something very important this week for our paper. It's our Christmas issue, and we wanted to get to the heart of what the holiday season is all about. So, Damien, could you tell us the title and a little bit about what your piece was about?
Yes, the title is People Are People, No Matter What. The main objective around the piece is to talk about how throughout generations, no matter what, you'll never hear someone treating someone better than themselves, but you'll hear that most people sit there and they push people down because most of the time they're trying to feel better about themselves in a certain way.
Mm-hmm. You said most people do that, in your opinion?
Well, not most, but a good majority of people that I've been around, I've noticed do it a lot.
I feel bad for you. Because I do agree it exists a lot. But
It
in my
does.
opinion, and I might be an optimist, and I know I'm kind of a positive person, but at least in my opinion, I don't think most people do that. But that's sad that
Well,
it does
like-
happen.
Okay, when I say most, I don't mean to generalize a lot of people. Yes, it is common around more areas than most, but at the same time, it's I've been through both the good and the bad. So when I say most, that generalizes what I've seen through my experience, and that was kind of what the piece that I made was about.
Right. So, go ahead.
Was more of a sight from my eyes, what I see.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about prejudice, sexism,
Yup,
racism, all those kind of things?
The two that I brought up, the two major ones being racism and sexism. And I came up with my own little lessons in there. My first talking about racism, lesson 1, it shouldn't matter what your skin color is or where you come from or what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, you're still a person, you still have your own life, you still have feelings. And that's what connects us all, is we all have feelings. We're all equal because we all have things that can hurt our feelings or build us.
That's right. I agree with that.
And my second issue that I brought up was sexism, because nowadays you hear it a lot. And most teenagers, I'm not gonna lie, so a lot of teenagers here even yeah, they mean it as jokes, but it's
Right.
still belittling when you look at a girl and you say, you guys belong in the kitchen, or
Yep.
stuff like that.
Kids were making fun of girls driving today, and I know
Yeah.
it's just kids talking trash, but yeah, it feels a little
It's
old-fashioned
still
to me.
demoralizing.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
humiliating when someone can sit there and make fun of you.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And lesson 2, it shouldn't matter what gender you are.
Right.
As long as the job is getting done or you can do it enough to where it's noticeable, that's all that really matters.
Agreed. Totally.
And for my last part of the issue, I talked about how, just treating someone equally or treating them better than what anybody else treats them really changes up their day. It really will. And just like my friend Taylor wrote in his piece, people need to learn to be nice to each other.
I absolutely agree.
Which brings me to the third lesson, which is just treat people equally. It's a golden rule in life. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Yep.
And
Never
most
fails.
most people will sit there and be like, well, they bullied me, so I bullied them.
Right.
Okay, but just because they made a wrong doesn't mean you make a wrong to make a right. 'Cause
Absolutely.
that's another rule in life. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
You're full of wisdom today, DC.
I tried to be.
Well, I'm glad by senior year, you know what's right and wrong, and I hope everybody who leaves the school could have that kind of a mindset.
I hope so too.
Is there any last words on this topic?
Stay good and behave in school.
All right, perfect. Thanks, David. All right, welcome back to the Falcon Nest sporting program. I got DJ Gouda here again to break down some Flambeau sports.
Let's talk basketball and wrestling.
Yeah, let's start out with wrestling. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the wrestling team
No.
because they were out in a tournament somewhere. But the team started off against Barron in a big tournament.
Yep.
And we got some results here. Most importantly, we see that Dakota Nelson took 6th overall. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad for a 138 weight class.
That's right. And we do know that last year Dakota and Jake Taylor went to state sectionals, so we're hoping that they can push further. Anything else kind of stood out to you about this wrestling?
I talked to a couple wrestlers from the team. They said it was kind of a hard weekend. Hopefully, now that they have the first tournament under their belts, they can kind of improve from here. So.
Well, I know every year they come down to Cadott, and I always check that one out.
Yeah,
it's a
for
big,
sure.
big event. Moving on from wrestling, we got to talk Flambeau Bruce,
Yes.
as it's known around here, the Catalina wine mixer of Rusk County.
Friday Night Lights took place
That's right.
in the barn.
Oh, it was contentious. I'm going to tell you, I was a little worried that the AD was going to have to step in there because the kids, they get a little disrespectful when Flambeau Bruce happens. But
Yeah, I was a little bummed out I wasn't able to make it, but you bet I tuned in to Huddle and watched both the games so that we could talk some basketball
well,
today.
you're a professional podcaster.
Well, yeah.
Well, without further ado, as everybody knows, there's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Flambeau beats Bruce. And that's exactly what happened Friday night. The boys took care of business, but it was a real tough game. They were actually down around 10 points at halftime, and a lot of us thought we might have an upset on our hands.
Yeah, especially it was 8 fouls to 0 in the first half, and that kind of put our starters into some foul trouble. So
I love the way you look at that from a referee's perspective. I'm not the coach, but I would imagine the coach was happy because what happened in the second half is the Falcons just brought the intensity up, and they scratched and clawed for everything they could get. And little by little, we got back in the game, and then we pulled ahead right at the end.
yeah. And that's talking boys. On the girls' side, they were pretty neck and neck for the most part. There was a lot of good things going on. I think they had 16 steals to Bruce's maybe 6 or
Yep.
9. So they had a really great defensive side, and their shooting was also on. So
Yeah, proud of those girls. They're starting to figure it out. They had a small team this year, and they're doing better. So let's take a look at some highlights from this girls' game.
yeah, let's go.
So to start out, we got Rhea Fraftard saving that ball and getting a steal.
So glad to see her in there on that court.
Both Fraftard girls are all over the place. And Reese Rail, you're not going to sneak that past Reese. She's all over that thing and
Up
pushing
the
it.
court to Kerrigan to set it up.
Yep. Ashley Lawton, quick hands there, and looks like she's starting another bit of a fast break.
Oh, dang. Then looks like Rhea's going to go out for football there on that
Her
tackle.
dad will be proud with that one. Reese, another steal, pushing it ahead.
Putting
Great
up
defense.
those steal numbers.
Yep. And here we go with a little bit of a fast break. Not the most poetic
Little
fast
fumble
break.
mumble going on there, but hey, we got the point out of it.
Hey, it's still
so
2 points, right?
We'll take that basket.
That's right. And Ashley Lawton, her sister was a Flambeau legend, Kristen Lawton, I think. And she might be, following the same
She's
footsteps.
got that and one too.
That's
Hopefully
nice.
she made that free throw afterwards.
Now, senior,
Ooh,
Sydney.
from downtown.
Yeah, they call her the Sandbox. That's her nickname. Long story there.
I'd love to hear that story sometime.
Junior, Ella G, also an excellent nickname, Ella G, from
Look at that
D.
wide open shot.
Pure. Sydney again. The team,
Ooh.
the team needs it, and that's when the senior steps up. Great
And
to
Coach
see.
Carlson's pretty excited in that one too.
Oh yeah, she deserves it.
Oh, this one's for Miss Gouda, and it's in.
Oh, she called that one for you?
Oh yeah,
All right.
she always calls her threes for me.
And not to be outdone, Ashley's getting in the 3-point game too.
Dang.
Some sweet shooting out there by the
Yeah.
Falcons.
That's great.
And as you can see, 44-31, solid 13-point victory,
Yeah.
and send Bruce home with two L's in their Christmas stocking.
Heck.
All right, Flambeau faithful. I'm here today with a junior, Quentin Zach, and he is a member of our Flambeau wrestling team. He's going to give us all the behind-the-scenes information on the wrestling team this year. Quentin, can you tell us who are the members of our team?
So we got 2 sophomores this year, and that's Kevin Vertigan and Carter Carillon. The 4 juniors are Jesse Jiskro, Jacob Taylor, Cole Schley, and me. The only senior that's been wrestling the longest is Dakota Nelson.
Just like the basketball team, only one senior.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, did any members of your team achieve anything special last year or do anything outstanding?
Jacob and Dakota both made sectionals.
Okay, excellent.
So that's a pretty big accomplishment because that's like this step before state.
All right. Well, hopefully some people get to state this year. And who are the coaches for the wrestling team?
So we got Nate Lund, Zach Lund, and then Jordan Bainter.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh. And what has the wrestling team been doing to prepare for the season?
So we've been mostly like working on mental like stuff, like getting prepared mentally
Mhm.
and then also physically.
Okay.
So like new moves
Mm-hmm.
and then more flexibility.
Nice. And I noticed some people have been cutting their weight. You're one of those, right?
I'm one of those.
Okay, so tell us what weight are you trying to get to?
So I started out at 132.
Uh-huh.
Then Dakota's trying to go to 132 as well.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta go to 126.
Yeah, because you don't want to have to practice against Dakota every single day. That can't be fun.
No.
I don't even wrestle, and I know that's not a good time.
No, a wrestle off with Dakota would not be fun.
Right. So when you're trying to cut weight, what are you doing?
Mostly chewing gum. I eat ice.
You eat ice?
Yes.
Wow, the struggle is real. I'm gaining all kinds of respect for wrestlers.
And then
Hey, you got to sit and wrestle with Dakota all day, and then you got to eat ice to celebrate?
I also wrestle Cole too.
And Cole Schley, QB1. All right, if you were going to rank maybe the top member of the wrestling team, who would you say it is?
I'd have to say it's Dakota.
Dakota, senior Dakota, right? Well, I hope he does great things in his final season here. And can you tell us when we might be able to watch this wrestling team in action?
January 9th, we have a quad at home.
Okay. Do you know, is that a Saturday?
It's Thursday.
It's a Thursday. All right. Well, you guys heard it here from Quentin. Come on out. Watch these wrestling boys. They've been working hard, eating nice. And let's celebrate and support these boys. All right. Thanks, Quentin. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for
All
having
right.
me.
Have a nice day.
By the way, the Grinch is my dad. And that's all for today.
True. Thank you for tuning in to the Falcon Nest. We love the Grinch here. We love Whoville.
Yes, we do.
And, everything Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys, and happy holidays, and a
Toodles.
Happy New Year. Bye.